Thank you very much, everybody. Premièrement, merci beaucoup pour votre présence ici aujourd'hui pour le workshop pour 3 jours. C'est vraiment une initiative importante pour les jeunesses du Canada pour leur santé mentale. Thank you very much, everybody, for being here today. It is, as you know, a wonderful initiative, and I thought I would take a moment to reflect a little bit on the history, although Kelly and Tony did very adequately. But last October, the press release, I think, said things very clearly, and the Minister Boeckh and Tony announced this project, a public-private partnership, which I think is reflective of a need in Canada. And having spent 40 years in primary care in a rural area in Canada, I can attest to the fact that it is an area, youth and adolescent mental health, that has a dearth of ability to cope with the needs. The press release said the research network, Pan-Canadian Network, aims to improve the care provided to young Canadians with mental illness by taking research findings and using them in practice and, I think, in policy. And there's the rub, trying to get our research done in a national fashion and rolling it out to policy through the 13 jurisdictions that we have that we call the Canadian healthcare system. And of course, you all know it's 13 systems. Plus or minus 14, which is the federal government and the Aboriginal responsibilities that they have. So the challenges are there to get this work done. I will say to you that change is glacial. It's not tsunami, and it takes time. In democratic societies, change takes time, and it takes commitment, it takes energy, and it takes patience, and it takes cooperation. It has been said many times that the only change that people welcome is a diaper change, and they're probably right. We have with us today the youth panel, and I have said at the panel work that today, even more than ever, I think we do not have a generation gap. We have a generation canyon. And I am very glad that the 3 youth representatives are here today. And another analogy I use once in a while when we want to simplify major issues into a few words is, if you really want to know about the river, you have to... Somebody dropped their watch. If you really want to know about the river, you have to ask the alligators. You can't ask the zebras. And I am really convinced and happy that we have a youth component here, because these are the people ultimately that we have to access. I think the system has failed in a way in that youth with mental illness deal with the stigma even more than anybody, adult with mental illness. And they do not access our systems. So we have to reconsider our systems. We have to go to them. We have to go where they are to detect and to get them into the system for early detection and treatment, and ultimately follow up and roll out. The rollout component of this, as I see it, has to be through the 13 jurisdictions, as I mentioned. So I would encourage all of you in every province to talk to your departments of health and education to ensure that they're, first of all, aware of this initiative, and number 2, that they become part of it. As chair of the panel, I have a few responsibilities. One of them is to ensure that the integrity of the panel is solid, and I commit to that as the person responsible to make sure that fairness is part of this process, and that there will be no interference in any way to the decision-making of the very capable panel. I'm humbled by sitting at the table with these people. They are very, very experienced, knowledgeable, and they are activists in their own way. My commitment to you is that that fairness will be adhered to. You've gone through the initial process of the letters of intent, or the expressions of intent, sorry, and you're here today to help us to define what transformation will be. Now, the minds at the table of the panel are judicial in their own way, but I can assure you that the nature of transformational change will come from you as you work through this pan-Canadian network sharing of information and collaboration, again to the benefit of our youth and our children and, of course, their children. I don't have a whole lot more to say because it's been said by Tony and Kelly. I just would like to say again that this public-private partnership is virtually unique in Canada at the research level in mental health, and I think we should make every effort to make it what we want it to be and what we would all envisage it to be for the benefit of those who would need service. We spend huge amounts of money in healthcare in Canada. We're at almost 12% of GDP now. We're about 210 billion a year of spending. I'm afraid that the funding and the attention and the detection rates for youth and adolescent mental health issues is not adequate, as Tony referred to earlier in his comments. From there, I would say that we're phasing into phase 2 right now. I would encourage you all to feel free today to communicate, collaborate, and help us with this whole initiative. I thank you very much, and we look forward to rolling out the next 3 days with fun and conviction and intent. And as is said, you know, any epic journey starts with the first step, and we're there now. Thank you very much.